If you would you just give us your thoughts on the match and as you now approach week number 2 of the U.S. Open?
Yeah, great match because first match against Evans, and he's a tough opponent to play against, really tricky. Said it a few times, but he was the only player to have a match point against Stan when Stan won the title. That means something. He's a top player for many years already. So I knew I have to keep my focus from start to finish. I was serving good. I was trying to change up the game, mix up the game, and I'm really happy that I beat such a tough opponent with that score and with that much energy left, I would say. So yeah, and feeling great before the second week. Feeling great with my tennis, my mental, my physical. So just looking forward.
Great, very good. Thank you.
Yeah, hey, Daniil, Dan Walken, USA Today. I remember after Wimbledon you said something along the lines of, for the number 2 player in the world to lose in the round of 16 is not a good result. I'm curious sort of how that mentality has evolved for you. And does it make it difficult when you come into a Grand Slam and you are the favorite to get to the final, especially, a year like this year where most of the high seeds and half of the draw have left?
Yeah, I mean, I always say I take it match by match. You can lose first round, you can lose final. If you play good, if I play good, I know what I'm capable of. So it's tough to beat me. In Wimbledon, I was honest, I lost against a great player. Uber is playing great. I think he's on the rise. He's going to be even better ranked, and maybe he's going to go further in slams. He beat Roger after me. But again, I was not talking about match itself, where the loss was okay, I would say. I was talking about the result in general, and fourth round is not enough for a number 2 in the world. Especially, I like grass more than clay, so maybe on clay I would not say this. And yeah, it's the same every tournament. If you're top seed, if you're not in the final, let's say Cincinnati, I lost against Rublev. Brutal match, really strong play from him. But if we talk about the result itself, semi-final was not good enough. So there's not much to add. I want to win every tournament I play in without putting pressure on myself, because again, I know how to win matches. I know sometimes why I lose them, so that's just learning and being better for the next time.
Okay, Peter.
Peter Bodo, tennis.com. Daniil, in what ways are you a better player now than you were last year and the year before, especially at this tournament where things are so different with the field, etc.?
I want to say it's tough to say where you're better. I think, the older you get, the more mature you become in terms of, I'm talking only in terms of tennis, because what's different that if we take 2 years ago, I was in one more slam final, I won 3 more Masters, all these matches, tough matches against tough opponents. Sometimes you come back, sometimes you finish in straight sets. It's experience. Again, for example, I lost against Novak in the Australian Open final. If I will have one more Grand Slam final against him, will I do better? We don't know. Will I try to do better with experience I had? For sure. And that's what's different, and that's what, again, I try to learn every time something good or bad happens. Sometimes I succeed, achieve, sometimes not. So yeah, if you ask me what's better, experience.
Okay. We'll get to everybody today. Ben?
Hi, Daniil. Ben Rothberg, New York Times. I'm just curious, your next match against Botic van de Zandschulp, he's a qualifier. I'm not sure how much you know about him. There's a couple qualifiers still left in the men's draw also, and Atta and Gojovchik. Just what do you make of his run, and how do you prepare for that sort of unexpected quarterfinalist?
Yeah, definitely a lot of runs here. A lot of, I would say, surprises, maybe even more than in other slams. At the same time, there are always at slams. And Botic, I saw the match today till 5-4 for him in the third, because then I went to play. I did think he's going to finish it in 3, and when I went out and they told me he just finished, but he still won, wow, impressive. And I saw a few matches of him before. I remember he played Karen in Melbourne, had match point against him, saw him practicing a few times. So I know kind of how he plays. I know that he can play good. I saw this today especially. He chose a very good tactic against Diego. He was all over the place. So I'm going to prepare with my coach tactically as much as I can. After, again, if I serve well, if I play well, I know that it's not easy to play against me. He has some matches in his legs. I'm gonna try to use it and try to win. Yeah, not much to add.
Okay. Willie?
Willie Weinbaum from ESPN. Do you know how to pronounce his name?
I'll try. Botic van den Zandschulp. Let's ask him if it's good enough.
I think it is. Matt?
Daniil, Matt Futterman from the New York Times. I'm thinking back to Australia and that spirited exchange you had with your coach. Have you had anything like that since then, either on the training courts or I don't think you've had it during matches? Well, how's your relationship now, and how did that experience? Did you guys build from there? Did you have a good talk about it, or what was the outcome of all of that?
Yeah, first of all, we've had some of this. Sometimes when I say some of this, not 10, maybe 3-4 times. Maybe I would say 2 or 3 times during the matches. Maybe 2 or 3 times during the practice. I think from this moment in Australia, no, we didn't have. But again, we talked about it. We explained to each other what happened. I mean, it was mostly me, so I explained what happened. We talked about it. Of course, that's not the best thing to happen. But again, when you are with somebody for 300, I would say we're 330 days together, it can happen. You know, a relationship can be good. One day can be worse. Somebody's in a bad mood or whatever. Since then it didn't happen. Again, I think we respect each other. That's the most important. We're doing a great job. Me as a player, him as a coach. Outside of the court, we're easy with each other, so not much to add. Again, when it happens, I don't see a big deal out of it. But of course, you have to talk as two persons, and as you say, build from there. So it didn't happen since.
Okay. The back on the left, right there.
I'm also from Todonet. I would like to ask about this year no line judge in Arthur Ashe. How do you feel the Hawkeye judging system?
Me, I always said at least I like to argue on the court. If I think something is not fair, which sometimes is not true. Sometimes it is fair, but I think it's not fair, so I get crazy. Long story, but. With this thing, you cannot argue. You cannot get crazy. I'm not the one. You never would see me pointing there and saying, "Wow, this ball is 100% out. The Hawkeye is wrong." I felt quite good. There was only once in like 30 matches where it was in Cincinnati, and we had 2 calls with Pablo Carreño Busta. First, I thought, come on, the mark was out, but okay. I just went to the next one, and it was the same for him after. So I don't know if maybe the camera was not right or whatever, but that was the only time out of 5,000 balls called with this electronic line system. So I like it.
Bill?
Bill Simons, Inside Tennis. Congrats.
Thanks.
Djokovic has said a number of times how he likes wolves, he identifies with wolves. A broadcaster today said your name relates to bears. Is that true? And also, have you had any connection with the former French finalist Medvedev or even the former Russian leader Medvedev?
No real connection. And I saw Andre actually a few times when I was playing Futures. He was there coaching some players. And then I saw him a few times in Grand Slams where he was there playing Legends or something. We didn't really have a talk or anything. He knows who I am. I know who he is, so we say hi. And maybe we're going to have a chat one time because, he's definitely a great player. And it's funny that he has the same name. The name means bear in Russian, so that's easy. I don't actually really associate myself with the bear itself as an animal, but it means bear. And with the Russian Prime Minister, no connection, but it was funny when he was the president actually, so my friends were joking about me.
Okay. We're going to transition online. There's a question in English online. Chris, if just give your name and affiliation, and you are live. Thank you.
Chris Otto with US Open. Hi, Daniil. Congrats on your win.
Thanks.
I think there have been 32 5-setters already at the US Open and 10 comebacks from 2 sets down. And I wonder if you've been first paying attention to that? And do you think there's any reason for it? Like maybe their players are more evenly matched this year than they have been in the past?
Yeah, first of all, I saw the statistics about 5-set matches and 4 hours plus matches also. I didn't know that there were 10 comebacks from 2 sets to love down, because that's huge. That's really huge. 10 is a lot. And yeah, have nothing to say than congrats to these guys, because that's tough. I only had once in my life where I managed to do it. I think it's also that the fans are back, because as we can see, almost any match, if you're 2 sets to love down, the fans go crazy for the guy who is losing, because they want to prolong the match. And I think we didn't have this experience for a long time. So it's tougher for the one who is winning, because he's not anymore used to it. And it's much easier for the guy who's losing, who's going to, feed from it and just try to give everything. So I think that's a big part. And yeah, maybe it's also very even, but that's tougher to say, because I mean, before was even probably too, like even 10 years ago, 20 years ago. There are a lot of matches that are going to be played amongst the same rankings. So I would say the fans probably.